Play me that beautiful music, Jared. That's how you know it's official, people. The official, untranslatable intro. Hello and welcome to the Untranslatable Podcast. We are here recording episode 115, and today we are going to be talking about something that in some ways Jared and I are experts on, and others we are not even close to being experts. But today we will be talking about college and looking at it around the world to see what are some of the differences in age, price, also talk about some popular majors as well. So yeah, it should be a fun episode. Hopefully you all will feel a little bit educated and liberated at the end of the episode and have some more info about college. So without further ado, my buddy that's got all the deets, my friend Jared. What's going on, Jared?
Hey there. It's good to be back here with you one more time with the lawyers and security team present. It's good to have you here. But please, everyone, spread a little love. Follow us on Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. Twitter, Untranslatable1, the number 1. You can email us, untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, untranslatablepodcast.com. Or you can, most importantly, spread a little love with those 5-star reviews on iTunes and Stitcher. You can also give us untranslatables. Our show is called the Untranslatable Podcast. That's because we talk about untranslatables, which are idioms, sayings, proverbs that don't really make any sense, if you translate them directly to English, but then when you really think about it, you're like, oh, okay, I see what they did there. That has a meaning to them, and I like it, or it's funny. We like to also talk about travel here, and I have a travel story I'd like to run by you real quick. And
ooh, let's hear it.
See what you think about this. After, and if I'm not mistaken, you're going to love that. Anyway. After 2 strangers missed a flight, they were asked to share a hotel room with one bed.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It's a traveler's nightmare to miss a connecting flight and have to unexpectedly spend the night in an unfamiliar city. What could be more awkward? Maybe an airline asking 2 strangers to share a hotel room with only one bed. Jareen, the Mahali Nuyoto of Ottawa, said she was shocked when her 71-year-old mother told her that that's what happened after she missed an Air Canada flight on July 19th.
Really?
Now listen, we've been talking a bit about Air Canada recently.
That's true.
What is going on over there at that airline?
Yeah, first you're losing people in the terminals that fall asleep in your planes. Now you're
2 stories within a couple days of each other of people getting forgotten on the plane. Now this. Air Canada said in a statement that the ordeal was the result of a misunderstanding. It's not our policy to have passengers who are not traveling together share a room. Oh, it's not? The airline said in this case an error was initially made allocating rooms.
Or they were trying to play matchmaker. You never know.
Nyota's mother, Elizabeth Kofi Tabu, had spent a month with her daughter and family before planning to fly back to Paris. It was simple enough. It was a simple enough journey with a connection in Montreal. Mahali Nuyoto told CNN. However, Kofi Tabu was in a wheelchair because she's recovering from cancer treatment. And I understand, but I love how they kind of had to throw that in as like a jab to the company. And a delay in the first flight meant she missed her flight to Paris. After trying to catch the night's last flight, Kofi Tabu and another passenger, a 35-year-old man, were told that they would have to wait until the following morning. Air Canada offered to put them up in a nearby hotel, but with the catch, there was only one room available, said the daughter. My mother told the Air Canada agent, I don't know this man. We are not a couple, Noyota said, but they said there was only one room.
That's no bueno. They got to arrange some other accommodation, I feel like. You can't just...
How annoying, though, is it to hear people that work in any sort of company similar to that, where they sort of have you by the balls, whether it be that, maybe a hotel, or even if, say, you're getting your car fixed and you don't really know much about cars or anything,
Right.
you just feel like you're just like, especially when there's like, sorry, this is policy, or sorry, this is all we can do, or sorry, you got to speak to someone higher than us, but it's 11 in the morning, or excuse me, 11 at night, so we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow, but
Right.
we only have one room.
Yeah, you're SOL. I guess you hope you have enough in an emergency fund to maybe pay for your own. I don't know.
I was in a
That's tough.
situation one time. I was flying to Louisiana, and the layover. Excuse me, that's the word I'm looking for. The layover was in Atlanta, and due to something that I don't know exactly what it was, but I don't think it was weather related. The flight was canceled, and I got stuck in Atlanta.
Okay.
And my parents booked me a hotel for me. This was a few years ago, and except when I got to the hotel, they booked it. This was at this point it was probably 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. They booked it for that day. But that day means you can't actually check in until like noon or something like that. So I took an Uber to the airport and I told them my name. Like, yeah, that's for, you can't check in until noon. And I was just like, okay. So I just had to go back to the airport and I pulled a classic all-nighter in the airport.
Oh, man.
Just sitting in the chair, headphones on. I definitely caught up on podcasts.
That's rough.
Sure.
Okay, that's rough. Do your ears ever get sore from wearing over-ear headphones too long?
Not if I don't have my glasses on, but it's hard to wear them with my glasses because that pinches my face.
Right.
But no. But I will say this. I did, so I called to get a refund for the flight, and they're like, well, usually we can only give a voucher, unless it's like an extenuating circumstance, like a death or something. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, I mean, I was going to my aunt's funeral, and I had to miss it and just go back home, so... Right. And the lady was like, and I didn't just make that up, by the way, that was true.
Right.
And she's like, oh, and then I got the refund, but
nice. Okay, that's a bummer though.
Yeah,
I've been lucky. I've never had to stay overnight in a hotel, or a train station or anything.
You mean an airport?
Airport.
Oh, you said hotel.
Yeah,
I was like,
sorry.
I mean, I feel
Airport.
like that's what you would like to do in a hotel.
I have spent the night at a hotel a couple of times. That's for sure. But yeah. Interesting.
So after telling an Air Canada employee about the ordeal, Kofi Tabu received 2 $10 food vouchers and a preferred seat with additional legroom. By the way, $10 on a flight gets you like a
sandwich,
a thing of Pringles or something like that.
Right. Some pretzels.
Though Kofi Tabu made it back to Paris, her daughter said it was nearly 24 hours later than originally planned.
Does not sound like a fun journey.
Air Canada's having some PR issues. They need to get their shit together.
A little bit.
I said it.
Well, Jared, now I think you know what time it is.
Spread a little love.
Mm-hmm. It's time to spread some love. And the first place I'd like to send some love is to India, because they have been cutting the tax rate on electric vehicles to try to boost the uptake in electric vehicles. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
On Saturday, they slashed their taxes on electric vehicles and chargers as well.
Easy there, Chief.
Sorry. And it looks like they're trying to encourage the use of more environmentally friendly cars. You're quite the car guy. What can you tell me about electric cars?
I like them. There's all this talk about how they're might be technically better for the environment, but they're not actually better for to manufacture. I heard that sort of effect on the environment goes away after, say, I think 5 years on average. It depends on where you're at and how your electricity is gathered. And then so after 5 years, that sort of extra pollution that building the car puts out is no longer a factor in the cost or the pollution. So I think they're great. I think what they really need to work on more than anything is charging, and range is pretty good. Like a Tesla gets about 300 plus 350.
That's really good,
which is pretty close to what my car gets. My car gets maybe a little more than that if I'm only on freeways.
Right. Yeah, mine's about 300.
Really? That's it?
Maybe 320 if
Okay.
I'm pushing it.
Yeah, if I push it, I could probably get to like 380.
Okay.
But that
Oh, wow.
that'd have to be
That's
like
really pushing it.
That'd have to be like a road trip situation.
Okay.
Like I'd have to be an ideal
On
gas
cruise
mileage
control,
situations.
yeah. No other cars there, yeah. But this is great though, Jared, because India is actually the world's third biggest emitter of greenhouse gases.
I think it's also good for a place like India too, because they have a lot of motorcycles and they don't have a lot of space, and it's easier, I think, also to build good electric commuters when you're building them on a smaller scale. The battery doesn't have to be as big. The range
Sure.
is not as big of a concern. Now, charging is still something you have to concern yourself with, but I think it's even a better solution for people with lower incomes, because then you're also just have like a lower maintenance too, because you don't really have to do much to them. Like you don't have to change oil and really get them serviced as much.
For sure. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Absolutely. So yeah, so
Shout
big
out to
ups to
India.
India. Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Next up, I am sending some love to Anchorage, Alaska, because in Anchorage, drivers will be able to donate school supplies instead of paying for their parking tickets.
Oh, that's great.
That's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got a ticket today, and I wish I could donate school supplies instead of having to pay my ticket.
See, usually I would feel bad in that situation. I feel bad for you. Usually I would feel bad like I had something to do with it. But I think we could both agree there were no signs anywhere around about parking.
Yep.
But apparently you can't park within 30 feet of a stop sign.
Which, yeah, I didn't realize. So,
Yeah.
$35 down the drain.
That's
but
definitely
hey, what
not a
can you do?
rule in Philadelphia. Let's just say that.
Right.
You can park right up to stop signs.
Well, I think in East
a lot of-
Lansing you can too.
Okay.
But
That's
hey,
such a weird rule.
Ferndale, man, what can I say? We're going to have
Yeah.
our lawyers figure it out. It'll all
Yeah.
be good. But yeah, anyways,
They're
back to
shaking their heads
Anchorage.
saying no. That's not part
So
of
yeah,
their job.
on Friday of last week, Anchorage drivers with a $20 parking ticket will be able to pay their fine in pens or pencils to support local youths going back to school next month. I think they should branch this out and allow the donation of any school supplies.
Yeah, like
gonna go out and
notebooks,
say it.
trapper
Exactly.
keepers,
Folders.
trapper keepers.
Right. I don't think kids need
Backpacks.
calculators. Do math teachers let them use their phones as calculators nowadays?
I don't know.
Do you need one of those fancy Texas Instruments? That's what we used to use.
Yeah, those seem like a scam kind of.
They're expensive.
They are.
They're
like
expensive. Just
almost
use your
$100
phone.
bucks.
Yeah.
But they like we used the graphing features like 3 times,
And that was it. Yeah.
in like the 7 years that they were required.
Right.
Other than that, it was just like sine or cosine, which you could do on a lower level calculator.
Exactly.
I think that's great. So maybe I wouldn't say calculators would be worth it, because first of all, who would do that? Because at that point, just pay the ticket. Your ticket's $35.
Mm-hmm.
A calculator is 3 times that.
Right. That's true. Well, maybe you have a bigger parking ticket than $20. You never know. But yeah, so that's great. Good idea. Good thinking. People of Anchorage, Alaska, we think that's great.
You betcha.
And hopefully other people will also maybe start to do this. Mm-hmm. My last shout out goes out to the nation of Latvia, because a third of Latvia's culture budget goes towards music education. And there is also a new music festival to celebrate Latvian culture and Latvian music, which I think is amazing that they're
Latfest.
who knows what it's called. The summer is launching an annual music festival at the capital seaside resort Jurmala. Designed, that's probably not how you say it. Who knows? Designed to be more than just a moment of high culture, but something of a rallying point for a country with a delicate historical and geopolitical backdrop.
I don't know about their geopolitical and historical backdrop. I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
That's all I had to say.
Oh. Okay. I thought you had more to say there.
Oh, no.
But yeah, so I think that's really cool though that they're having this big music festival at, I think it's just called the Riga Jurmala Music Festival. So
Okay.
there you go, Jared.
Okay, cool.
So shout out to Latvia.
Maybe we'll have to keep that in mind for a future episode. Maybe we can find a Latvian song of the pod.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's going to be happening at that festival.
It's a good idea. Good call. Well, buddy, I think you might know what time it is.
I do. Always on time.
That's right.
It's time for the untranslatables. This is the famous untranslatable owl. I argued with the lawyers trying to get make Chad have to bring the actual untranslatable owl to the off-site location that we agreed upon.
Yeah, too hard to do.
But there was too many hoops to jump through, so I said, all right, fine.
Well, can I get us started today, Jared?
Please.
So I have a few Russian untranslatables for you today. So I will be trying my best. Sorry, that's a terrible Russian accent. I'll be trying my best to say these the best I can. So here we go. Ruki ne dochodят, which means the hand/arms don't reach.
We can't agree on something?
Not really, not quite. Not quite. So Jared, maybe you needed me to do something, and I just had a lot on my plate that day. And I said, sorry, the hands or arms don't reach.
Oh, you just couldn't get it done. Couldn't do it.
Don't have the time.
Don't have the time.
Don't have the time. Yep.
My hands couldn't reach.
Yep. Don't have the time.
I mean, I like that. I get it. I get it. I'm surprised it wasn't, you can't agree on something, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I have untranslatables because this is the Untranslatable podcast. French is my first one. Avoir une araignée au plafond. Having a spider on the ceiling. Araignée. Having a spider on the ceiling.
Having a spider on the ceiling.
Now, before you start, I'll tell you there is an English untranslatable.
Like a fly on the wall?
What does that mean? Oh, no, that's not.
No, that's not it.
The same thing. A fly on the wall means like you wish you could like listen in on a conversation without someone knowing that you're there.
Yeah. Okay. Spider on the ceiling. Is it like
you have a spider on the ceiling? That's what you might say to someone.
Are you crazy?
Chad.
Yeah?
Now the judges, who we also have here, by the way, because we got to bring them along, would say, we'll give it to you, but you have to explain it. So it technically means, if you say you have a spider on the ceiling, you're saying you have a screw loose. But that's essentially what you were saying. You were just asking it.
Okay.
But yeah, good job.
Okay, are you crazy? All right.
Interesting.
I got one for you, Jared. Another one in Russian, and it is Bez tsarya v голове, which means without a czar in the head.
Please. Oh, it's just like you're absent-minded.
Very good. Yep. Yep.
All right. My next one is Korean, and it is Nuni Dwijip Hida, and it literally means eyes are turned upside down.
Your eyes are turned upside down? Like you can't believe what you see?
And yes, but why can't you believe what you see?
Because it just looks so unreal.
What about what you're seeing is giving you this reaction? Why are you getting this reaction?
You're seeing something very obscure and strange.
How does that make you feel?
Scared, surprised, terrified, shocked? Bamboozled? Flabbergasted?
Keep going. To get really mad.
Oh, to get really mad. Oh, okay.
Eyes are turned upside down.
Okay.
So maybe it's like when you're yelling, it's almost like your eyes start to roll into the back of your head a little bit.
Okay, sure.
You and I were talking yesterday. I mean, I don't know if that was on the pod or not.
Watch it.
That we're not yellers. That might have been on the pod.
Yeah. We are not yellers.
So it wasn't yesterday.
You never know. So my last
Monday.
one for you is Russian.
Okay.
And it is Zamorit Cherviachka, which means to kill the worm. To kill the worm.
Is it like to cut off an agreement of some sort?
Nope.
Kill the worm.
You could say we killed the worm at the diner earlier.
You eat a lot of food?
Kind of, yeah. It's more like, I guess you would say this after the meal. Like, man, I just killed the worm there.
Like you're satisfied.
There we go.
Okay.
To satisfy one's hunger.
You betcha.
To kill the worm.
That was good. Did you like that place?
Yeah, it was delicious.
Okay. You don't have to just say that.
No, it was good.
I don't mind.
I ate all my omelet. It was delicious.
That's true. You did clean your plate.
I tried.
My last one is Flemish.
Okay.
Do you know where they speak Flemish, Chad?
Belgium?
That's very good. Very good. And from as far as I know, it's similar to Dutch.
Okay.
Excuse, jeez. Listen, I'm making a mess here.
This is why we can't have nice things, Jared.
An iemands lippen hangen. An iemands lippen hangen.
To hang on someone's lip?
Chad.
Is that
Parada.
Very good.
And is that like to depend on someone, to like be clingy?
No.
Oh, I was trying to get a twofer there. Okay.
No.
To hang on someone's lip.
So,
I'm not sure what.
we would hope that a lot of the people that enjoy the Untranslatable podcast enjoy it because they can hang on our lips. My lip and your lip.
I have no idea.
You don't. Why would you like someone to like about it? Well, like, what would you, if someone were okay
To like really listen to them?
there you go.
Hang on their lip? Okay.
It's to completely engrossed in what someone's saying.
Okay. Nice.
See, I knew we'd get there. That was
Right.
good teamwork. Hey,
That was.
teamwork
Makes the dream work.
Also, I like that shirt.
Thank you. Rocking my Michigan State shirt today.
I like. That's black, isn't it? I'm not
It
going
is black.
crazy. Okay.
No, actually, you've become colorblind in this new room.
I like that. Let's talk about colleges. Did you wear that on purpose? Of course you didn't.
I actually didn't, but it does work today, doesn't it? We are talking about colleges,
Yeah.
and yeah, we've got some experience, I would say, being former college students. I spent maybe a little too much time in college and higher ed, but
I spent maybe
Can't
not
complain.
enough time in college and higher ed.
debatable. Who knows? But yeah, we have a lot to talk about. I think the first thing, though, that really blows my mind is the variety of price of college around the world. Because in the States, it can get very expensive. And I have, for you, Jared, the top 10 most expensive colleges in the U.S.
Okay.
So let's get started.
I have the top 7 in the world.
Oh,
But
perfect.
you go first.
So what do you think is number 10?
Top
in the
10
US?
colleges in
Yeah.
the U.S.
Yeah, most expensive.
Yale.
Nope. It's not too far from Michigan. It's across the lake.
Across the lake.
Across the lake.
Loyola.
It's not Loyola, but just
Northwestern.
the University of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Take a guess how much 1 year costs in terms of tuition, fees, and room and board.
48.
$57,000.
Jeez.
And it could
This
be
is
more
for a
than that.
semester? Or a year?
Hopefully a year.
Okay.
Either way, that's crazy. So that's
Of course,
number
either
10.
way, it's crazy, but it might be a semester.
Maybe. That'd be crazy. Number 10. Okay, number 9. What do you think number 9 is?
East Coast or West Coast? Let's just start there.
East Coast.
Okay. Duke.
Johns Hopkins.
Okay.
Number 9 at $57,820.
Jeez.
Now these prices though are from 2012 and 2013.
So it's almost
might be
definitely more
higher,
expensive now.
for sure.
They definitely didn't go down. Well, let's
No,
put that
definitely
this way.
not. Number 8 is the New School Parsons School of Design in
never even
New
heard of
York.
that.
In New York City.
That's probably
$57,900 for tuition and room and board. And probably more than that because this was 2013. 7 is Dartmouth College.
okay.
So also
Poor man's Ivy League.
I guess hey, you said it, not me. But yeah, 57,000.
Slipping on gator
Almost at 58. Then we have Claremont McKenna College, liberal
Never heard
arts
of it.
school in Claremont, California. Cost is $58,000 for tuition, room and board.
Claremont.
Yeah, so Claremont McKenna College, Wesleyan University,
Yeah.
which is a liberal arts college in Middletown, Connecticut, 58.
Isn't that an all-ladies school?
Is it? I have no idea.
Maybe it's not.
I have no idea. That's a good question. Then we have Columbia University is number 4 in New York.
Wesley Snipes College? Is that what it was called? Just kidding.
$58,700. Harvey Mudd College in Claremont, California costs $58,900. Number 2 is New York with 50. I'm wondering if any go over 60. If we'll break the 60 mark here. 2 is New York University. One is Sarah Lawrence College.
Actually, it started, by the way, just to be
61,
clear, Wesleyan started as an all-men's school.
Oh, there you
It's
go.
the other way around.
So, Jared, those are the top 10 most expensive.
What was number
schools
one?
in the US. Number one was Sarah Lawrence College in Bronxville, New York.
All those liberal arts schools.
Crazy expensive.
You know, it's funny. I'm glad you started with that list, because now we're about to... Oh, that's your computer right here. Now we're about to talk about the most expensive colleges in the world.
Let's do it.
In the world. The 7 most expensive countries, in the world to go to college.
Are you starting high or low?
Low.
Okay.
Number 7, take a guess.
The country.
Yes.
Number 7. Oh.
Hey, can you shut your computer up there?
No, I can't.
All right.
It's working full capacity today, Jared.
This is going to burst into flames.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to think. Number 7?
Yes. I mean, it doesn't matter what the number is. It's just the 7th cheapest. Or most expensive, excuse me.
I don't even know.
New Zealand.
New Zealand? Really? Okay.
And number 6, for that matter, is Australia.
Okay. 5?
Well, I'll tell you. Per student, guess both of these are within a couple $100 of each other.
Okay.
It is average tuition for New Zealand is $4,100, and Australia is $4,400. With the average tuition coming in at $4,000, the number is even higher when converted from U.S. dollars to Australian dollars, with the actual cost for Australian students being $6,399 Canadian dollars.
Okay.
Well, not Canadian, Australian. Number 5 is Canada.
Okay.
Canada, that's 4,761, so it's essentially the same as Australia.
Mm-hmm.
South Korea, 4,777. This is hilarious.
And are those private universities or public in South Korea?
This is just the average cost of tuition.
I see.
In these countries. Japan, 5,100.
They're number 3.
United States is
number 2. Okay.
8,000. You got to factor in state.
I feel like it's way more expensive than 8,000.
I do too. I don't know where they're getting this from. And then they say England is 9,000.
Oh wow! So England's more expensive than the U.S. They say.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what they say, but okay. I don't. And I got questions. I don't buy it.
Right. I got some questions as well.
I'm actually going to call BS on this list.
I think it's crazy though too how many places have free or very affordable tuition around the world.
Yeah, for sure. I think though that's only half the battle, because going to a fancy school is even less about the education you're getting and more about that, just the symbol, just being able to say a school that gives you that sort of reaction where it's like, where'd you go? Stanford. Oh, wow, Stanford.
Right.
Or like, where'd you go? U of M.
Want that
wow,
prestige?
U of M.
Well, watch it.
No, Michigan State. Oh, okay. You're a state kid.
Watch yourself here. Watch yourself, Jared. Yeah, it's really crazy though how much people spend, and also how much debt a lot of American people our age have for the university. Anywhere from, I think the average last I checked was around 50 or 60 grand. I could be wrong, but that's just crazy. You have to start off 60 grand in the hole just to study at university. Whereas if you're abroad, at least I know in the Czech Republic, if you are younger than 26, tuition is paid for you.
Right.
So that's pretty nice.
Right. Younger than 26, you said?
Yeah. After 26, you have to pay for tuition, but it's still not nearly as expensive as it would be in the States.
No, for sure. So,
Jared, I have a list of countries with virtually free college around the world. So let me give you some of these.
Now, before we get into this list, I like this because I wonder how easy would it have been to just apply to college in a different country and get accepted and then go to college there, like a normal student.
I actually thought about that, and I was thinking about going to Germany for college, actually. But there's just a lot of administrative stuff you have to do.
I think what? Like visas and stuff?
Yeah, visas you have to apply. You have to find an apartment. You have to, or hope that they have student housing for you.
is housing harder to find in European countries, like dorms like we have here?
I'm not really sure because I've never had to look, to be honest. I've been very fortunate and stayed with host families or had my own apartment. But I think I don't know. I have heard that universities in Europe don't hold your hand as much as American universities do. So what that means is that you might have to find housing on your own and stuff like that, but it's expected of everybody.
Right.
You know?
No, I guess that makes sense.
And they don't do dorms the same way we have dorms in the United States.
Do you want me to read to you about different dorms around the country?
Sure.
For years, Boogert, I don't know who that is, has been documenting students from around the world in their rooms as part of his Images Connect project. So this is a student studying civil and construction engineering at the Universidad Mayor de San Simón in Bolivia. This is his dorm room right here. And by the way, this is 2018, just so we're clear.
Oh, no. Nice.
So do you want to explain it to the people?
What, the picture?
Yeah, this is in Bolivia.
I mean, it looks like a regular sized room. There's a little desk with a computer. Has his I don't know what that bag is.
Yeah, I don't know
He's
either.
holding
Maybe
some-
his laundry?
Yeah, it could be. It looks like a comfy dorm room, though. I feel like I'd be happy there if I was a college student.
Yeah, is that a hammock or a bed, though? I don't know if I'd want to sleep in a hammock.
I'm pretty sure those are beds.
Okay, because it does look like it's sagging a little bit. But yeah, this is from 2005. This one specifically, I guess. This is in Nairobi, Kenya. Look at that dude. Look how tall that guy looks like he is. He's
looks
sitting
very
down,
tall.
but his legs look long as fuck, and his hands look big too. Lawrence Owino is studying engineering at the Kenyatta University in Nairobi, Kenya. There you go.
Nice. Cool.
This is in Moldova. This is kind of nice. That's a lot of space.
Yeah, this girl has like some plants in the background of her dorm room and it looks fairly spacious.
A lot of open space.
I mean, that's the thing with dorm rooms in the U.S. for the most part. There's not always a ton of space.
Now, this is in Russia. This actually looks very similar to, besides for the fact that this looks like it's from the 80s, which I don't think it is. This looks similar to something we might see, I would say.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, our dorm rooms.
No, this would be.
Right.
This is in the Netherlands.
Yeah, that looks similar, although it looks a little posher, a little fancier than our room.
But I don't think it does. I think it's just because, I bet you all of this is just IKEA stuff.
That's true. We all had the same drawers and desks and everything in our fraternity house and our dorms back in the day.
I don't think it's anything fancy.
Gets the job done, though.
Interesting. So this is in Thailand, and there's studying humanity at Maha Chulalongkorn MC, a Buddhist university in Thailand. Very minimalist, which makes sense. They're Buddhists.
Sure.
And they sleep very close to each other.
They're buddies, you know? Little
I don't
cuddling.
think it's just them that sleep very close
Probably
to each
not.
other.
It's probably everybody. Interesting. Well, Jared, let's...
But really, let's be honest though. What really more do you need in like for anyone in this modern age than just a place for your computer and a bed? That's all anyone really
That's
needs.
true.
The way we live these
That
days.
is true. Maybe a room with a couch.
They're just honest
can be
about
plus.
it. Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, I agree. Let's talk about places for
you're
free
greedy.
college, though, Jared, because free is always good. That's for sure. And so there's actually quite a few countries that have free college, and this is in 2019. And so we'll go in alphabetical order. Argentina,
Okay.
Austria,
Shout out.
Brazil,
Okay.
my boys and girls, Czech Republic, Denmark, Egypt, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Iceland, Kenya.
Now I wonder if this list applies to people from out of state, out of country.
Don't worry, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll
Hey,
get there.
hey.
Don't you worry. Then we have Luxembourg, Malaysia, Morocco, Norway, Panama, Poland, Scotland, Slovenia,
Oi.
Spain, Sweden, Turkey, and Uruguay.
Okay.
And then here are countries that offer free tuition to its own residents, but also free tuition to international students. But there is a catch, Jared. What do you think the catch might be?
You have to graduate, or you have to keep a certain grade point average.
Well, that probably is the case, but no, there's a different catch.
You can't work.
They might have student work or like student jobs they could do.
What is it?
It is that most of these classes are taught in the language of the country. So
I think that should be expected.
Yeah, so if you want free college in Brazil, you have to speak Portuguese. Brazil.
Well, I mean, of course. Why would they? Yeah.
Well, but wait, it's not like that everywhere. In the Czech Republic, Czech classes are free. English classes are not. If you are in France, free classes are available to European Union citizens, so you and I would not be free. In Germany, though, they do teach classes in English, and you can take them for free, even as a foreigner. But the problem is...
Why do they teach classes in English? What's the point? Just to appeal to English speakers?
And I guess international students. Maybe, because, if you think about it, if you're an international student coming from China... or a country where they probably didn't teach you German in school, that closes the door to Germany if you have to speak German, right?
So you could come in. They probably want to invite more people into, like, these schools also want to invite people from other countries, though.
Right, because, I mean, look, the thing is language proficiency is no sign of intelligence, right? I would say we're both fairly...
Unless you can't speak any language well, I would say. Like, even if you can't speak your native language well, I might disagree.
That's true. But, yeah, so I think a lot of people go to Germany for that reason, though. The fact that they have classes offered in English, everyone can take them. There are a lot of international students, so that's pretty cool. Then after Germany, we have Greece. But once again, the classes are taught in Greek. Iceland. Now in Kenya, there is free tuition available to high-scoring secondary school students. So I don't know if that applies to foreigners as well or only students in Kenya. Luxembourg, it looks like there's no catch. Norway, tuition is free, but living expenses come at a very high cost, which I've heard about in Norway. Panama, Slovenia, and Sweden are free for EU citizens.
Okay.
So we got to become EU citizens.
Why is Panama free for an EU citizen?
No, not Panama. Slovenia and Sweden.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yep.
Let's talk about graduation rates.
Let's do it.
Who's really out here pumping out the most college graduates? Where do you think?
I want to say it's an Asian country. No?
You'd be wrong.
I'd be wrong. Okay. Is it the U.S.?
You'd be wrong.
Okay, where is it?
In 2012, 39% of young Americans were expected to graduate from college, compared with Iceland, 60%.
Oh, that's really good.
New Zealand, 57%. Poland, 53%. The U.S. graduation rate was ahead of Canada, 35%. Germany, 31%. Switzerland, 31%. Spain, 29%. Turkey, 27%. Italy, 26%. Chile, 23%. Hungary, 23%. Mexico, 22%. But I don't know about all of those countries, but I do know countries like Poland, Germany, Switzerland, Spain. Probably Italy and probably Turkey, and let's be honest, probably all those other countries. They also have much more of a focus on trade. Like that's still something that is a big focus there. So like it's possible to focus on something specifically, get a good but more focused and shorter education, and actually live a successful life without having to actually go to university.
Right. Yeah.
So I wonder if that has anything to do with those numbers. Where it's in the U.S. here, it's almost more like if you want to have any sort of office or salary job kind of thing, it's almost just assumed that you're gonna go to college.
Right. I mean, for me, it wasn't even really a question of whether or not I'm doing it. It's where I'm going.
Right. Same for me. Like it wasn't really. We never really talked about whether I was going to go or not because I think it was always just like, oh no, yeah, you're going.
Right. Which is interesting because I feel like had I have been interested in something else you could do without a college degree, I would have already had a couple of years of serious work under my belt and be making some money. So I don't know. I know a few people from my high school that have, become like carpenters or welders, plumbers. They make really good money. They have a nice place to live, and it seems like a decent life, and they didn't go to college.
Yeah, more physical though. So
Yeah.
there's that. And what kind of longevity does that have on it for your body and stuff like that?
It's true.
Oh yeah, so we just talked about the graduation rates. Let's talk about
college majors. Definitely.
College majors around the world. You have the top 10 college majors. Is that just in the world?
I think this is in the U.S.
All right.
This is from the Princeton Review.
Go ahead.
So they say number 1 is computer science. So not only do you learn more about computers, hardware and software, but you also learn about the applications of such knowledge as how technology fits into a business scenario. As a computer science major, you'll be exposed to areas such as robotics, natural language recognition programs, which I think will be huge in the future, and is already pretty big, artificial intelligence, programming languages, numerical analysis, and gaming technology. Let me just say, it would be so cool to design games.
Oh yeah,
That would be an awesome way to study computer science in college and design some games. That'd be pretty sweet.
oh yeah.
Numero dos is communications. Now, communications is interesting because I feel like it's kind of, for a lot of people, it's kind of like a joke. Like, oh, you're studying communications. But I think a lot of people who do study it do end up being fairly successful, doing all sorts of stuff. And it's a very general degree. So that could be good or bad.
Yeah, like I don't know how you apply that to a job. Like what job is looking for a bachelor's in communications?
Well, here you go, Jared. With a wealth of career options in business, advertising, human resources, public relations, government, education, media, and social services.
Our HR makes sense, and there was another one you said that makes sense as well. Sales would actually kind of make sense.
Advertising.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes
Public
sense.
relations. Got to know how to communicate, have good public relations.
Yeah, but that's more of like
I don't
more
get
of a personality
education.
thing.
That's
I feel
true.
like the public relations.
But I feel like a lot of college degrees are like certain personalities tend to pick.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know, our number.
Communications is very popular though. Like
Yeah.
everyone knows someone, or at least a couple people that major in communications.
You know why though, right?
Friends would always be like, "Okay,
You know why though? Everybody
good luck.
knows it.
We become a radio DJ.
That's right. Maybe start a podcast or something.
Easy.
You know. What's funny though is we probably all know somebody that is a communications major because they communicate it with us. See what I did there? There you go. But number 3 though is government and political science.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which I'm surprised though it's so high up, and it's actually above number 4, which is business.
That's surprising.
Yeah, to me that's surprising as well. What do you think comes after business, Jared? It's related to business.
Like marketing?
Econ.
Oh, okay.
Econ. Guess what number 6 is? This one makes me happy.
Oh, education?
English language and literature.
Okay. Another
Which-
one that there's not much to do with.
Well,
You didn't major in English.
I didn't know, but what's interesting is it's a very, like, I do know people who have a degree in English language and lit and are doing something, but yeah,
Is it related to that?
a lot of times, yeah,
Like,
writing
Okay.
or doing what is it called, copywriting.
our friend Chris, the bass line for our theme song, we always joke about how he majored in history and he actually writes for a history publication.
He's a good writer.
And he always joke that he's the only history major that actually used his history major for his
Probably.
applied it.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Number 7 though, Jared, is psychology.
And that's another one. Another one of those
Psychology.
how many of those people actually become psychologists?
Right. Number 8, I think this one probably has more people that go into this career, is nursing.
Yeah.
Number 8's nursing. 9 is chemical engineering.
That one probably gets pretty used, I would say.
I would say so too.
That's
and,
pretty focused.
And 10 is biology.
That's probably a lot of doctors, I would say, in there.
Right.
A lot
Scientists,
of other
professors.
sort of medical profession jobs that aren't doctors.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes sense. Let's do college majors around the world.
Okay, let's do it.
The US, UK, and Japan have the highest proportion of humanities majors.
Interesting.
The
okay.
crisis of the humanities, the fear that enrollments and relevance to humanities majors are dwindling is a common lament in American higher education. But it turns out that studying the humanities remains more popular in the US, Japan, and the United Kingdom than in most of Europe. Britain leads the pack with 16% of their students studying language, literal arts, language, literature, art, philosophy, religion, and similar subjects. Business and social science majors are popular everywhere everywhere, particularly in Turkey. This is kind of weird way to group majors, since business, at least in the U.S., is the runaway winner of any major popularity contest. But business and that's not according to your list, but that's what these people claim. But business and social science are combined. And social science combined are even more popular in Europe than they are in the U.S., particularly in Turkey. Greece and Germany lead the pack on science, computer science, and math majors.
Okay, interesting.
I think China would be an interesting one to factor in, but I think what also might contribute to that is that they're still growing, and if you do it like proportionally to the population, how many people don't go to college?
Right.
Might have something to do with that, just a guess.
Right. And in different countries, they also have different requirements how to get into college, right? So in the Czech Republic, you have to pass the Maturita. In Germany, you need an Abitur. In a lot of European countries, there's an exit exam. In China, they have, I believe it's called the Gaokao, which is also an entrance exam for university. So,
and we've talked about how that's one of the hardest ones.
Right, exactly. I mean, people spend hours upon days upon months studying for this exam. And so that does definitely play a role too in the numbers, because if you don't have a bunch of people that pass that exit exam, you won't have as many people in college. Maybe, I know in some countries people will go to private schools then, like private universities, if they don't pass some of those tests.
And if you have enough money, they can also go to different countries.
Sure.
Now, I guess I could see two thought processes in this. How do you feel about colleges being like the level of discernment on allowing people into their colleges? Like how available should college be for people?
Now, I don't mean to sound arrogant here, but did you ever meet somebody when we were in undergrad and you were like, really? They let this person in?
Of course.
People
probably felt that way about me, let's be honest.
That's true. Yeah, not to be jerks, but yeah, me too, probably. I'm sure some people are like, really? They let this guy in here? Really?
Yeah, I just play guitars all day. Okay.
Right. Well, we have a major for that called guitar major. Oh, cool. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, I don't know though. It is interesting. But how much can a college really tell from your application, from your ACT or SAT scores, and all this stuff? I can't imagine trying to select the students. But every college has their own criteria and all that stuff too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I guess there are just because everyone can't go to, say, Harvard, for example, the obvious example, that there's still some college avenue for everyone. If you can and if you can't handle anyone, then maybe you're just not cut out for it in general.
Oh, for sure.
Finland is producing a lot of future engineers, but Japan is far ahead of the U.S. when it comes to majoring in engineering, manufacturing, and construction. So is almost every other country. So the U.S. is not high on those engineering, manufacturing majors. In Finland, which
is interesting because I feel like we have some really great engineering schools here in the States.
I think we do, but I think a lot of those schools also do get a lot of international students.
Right.
Like the best programs are very known for having high levels of international students.
Speaking of that, Jared, of international students,
by the way, which is one more thing on what I was saying before. In Finland, more than 1/3 of college students are majoring in STEM fields. Science, cool. Technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Yep.
In the U.S., it's 15. Sorry, go ahead.
Nice. So speaking of international students, the U.S. Has been one of the top choices for the largest number of international students. In 2017, the U.S. hosted 1.1 million of the 4.6 million enrolled worldwide. So that's pretty cool. So
Wait, so 1/3 of college students are international students in the U.S.
Yes.
Wow, that's good.
Yep. And then next up is
I wouldn't expect it to
UK.
be that high.
Then number 3 would be China. So we are 1/3. UK is 2/3. China is the last third
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
of the most international students enrolled worldwide. Top 3.
Okay.
Top 3.
Those two countries have large numbers of international students as well. Gotcha.
Right. And it's, I think that's a good sign. You know, I think we have some great higher education programs in the States, and I think it's good. A lot of people do want to come and study here. You know, I think it opens doors, it builds bridges between different countries and cultures, and it's really great. You know, we had some really cool international students at Albion.
So I have a couple more interesting majors.
Let's hear it.
Health majors are most common in more developed countries. So in the U.S., people who graduated in 2008 are and majored in health care fields have the lowest unemployment rates. And in the U.S. is producing a slightly lower proportion of healthcare and welfare-related majors such as social work. They're in Western Europe, but higher than most Eastern European countries. Agriculture majors are really, really rare everywhere.
Okay, interesting.
And that's it.
Okay, cool. Well, I think this has been good, Jared. We've definitely spilled some facts about college around the world, and there's plenty more we can talk about, and we can revisit this another time.
Yeah.
But now I think it's time that we talk about our song of the pod,
Let's do it.
which is by an artist named, I believe it's Samani, and the song is called Matalib.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on it, Jared?
I like the acoustic guitar. We jammed yesterday.
We did. It was a
And
lot of fun.
You used your acoustic guitar, and it was a much different feel, but I really enjoyed it. So I like that part. Sorry, we're listening to it. It threw me off a little bit. And I don't know. I like his voice. I like the genre that it is. And
What genre would you call it?
Maybe like an R&B kind of maybe.
Okay.
And I also like what I like about good music is that no matter what the language is, usually it can dispel the rumor that said so-and-so language is a gross language. And I'd say Arabic, similar to German, gets a lot of shit for not being a very nice language. But he makes it sound lovely because it's all just about how you say the word, not about...
Right.
And not everyone... You can say it aggressively if you want, but that doesn't mean that that's just how people talk.
Absolutely. Yeah, and this guy here, Samani, is... I believe now he's actually located in Qatar, but he's from Sudan.
Okay.
And he sings, in Arabic and also in English, and has a really kind of percussive way he plays guitar that keeps like a nice little beat going, which is also really nice. And yeah, it's just guitar and voice. I think it's a really simple combination, but very effective.
And he sings in English too.
Yes, which is awesome. It's always cool to see some code switching. And this is a part of the Colors series. So check that out. It will be on our Twitter, Untranslatable1, and on our YouTube.
I'll probably post his actual... That's one of his songs.
Yeah.
I'll probably post his version, not the Colors version.
Cool. Either way, check it out on Colors as well. It's fantastic.
Yeah, Colors is a great way to experience
a lot of different
new
diverse
international
music.
artists.
Absolutely.
I love how they do that.
Me too. Well, Jared, I think it's time for you to enlighten us on your Spanish word of the pod.
Sí. Hola, me llamo Jared. Y how do you say my? Like me? How do you say word? Okay.
No sé.
My Spanish word is facultad.
Faculty?
Facultad? No. And if I'll give you a bit to think about that. And if you don't get it, then I'll give you a clue.
So really, it's not faculty? Like
No.
faculty of a college, like staff?
Well, no.
No.
It's not faculty.
What is it?
Another word is instituto.
Oh, so it's an institution.
It's college.
College.
But
Okay.
look, college, facultad.
Interesting.
And
okay.
they even have it again here for UK, facultad.
Interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, and isn't like colegio, is that just like college or school?
I don't know. That didn't even come up at all on this list.
Maybe, or is that college?
Oh, it did come up. Association.
Oh, okay.
Colegio profesional. So I think maybe it's like a business.
Okay, could be. Yeah.
But it does say. I don't know.
Who knows? We'll have to ask some native speakers on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jared, it's time for a couple college jokes. So Jared, how do you know that a rich person has been in? Well, maybe not a rich person. How do you know when a middle class person has been in college too long?
I don't know. How do you know?
When their parents start running out of money. Why don't you see giraffes at college, Jared?
Because they get beer bongs stuck in their throat and they die.
Well, then that was very nice little visual.
Was that not it?
No, because they're all still in high school.
Giraffes are in high school
because they're really tall.
Oh, because they're high.
Because they're high up. Yeah.
Okay.
Why did
I understand that. My problem with that joke is no one explains tall things as high, you know?
That's fair. That's fair. You're right. You're right. Well, Jared, my last one for you.
You're really high. What are you, 6'3"?
I'm going to start doing that to people. Get some weird reactions. My last one, though, for you, Jared, is why did the son skip college?
Because he was already bright enough.
Oh, I like that one better. Because it already had 1,000,000 degrees.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Always bright enough is pretty clever. Mm-hmm. Well, Jared, it's been a good episode talking about college. I'm sure we can revisit this sometime in the near future. And you know, college is great for a lot of people. It's definitely not for everybody.
I agree with that.
I hope this episode was good for all of you curious about different places to study and wanted to get some more information about college. Let us know, though, if you have any questions about anything. We're here for you at untranslatablepodcast@gmail.com. You can also check out our Instagram. Maybe we can, I think I might be going around Ann Arbor later. Maybe get some pictures of that campus.
Please.
I'm sure I have some of MSU. There's some beautiful campuses out there, and check those out. Some of them on our Instagram, Untranslatable Podcast. Also, do not forget to check out our Songs of the Pod on Twitter, Untranslatable1, or YouTube, Untranslatable Podcast.
We got travel tips coming up on Saturday. Look forward to that.
That's right. That's right.
Where will it be?
We'll find out. That's right. We'll find out. So we thank you all for your support. And as we say here at the Untranslatable Podcast, Děkujeme a muchas gracias.